Hello. So, in my last video, I said how I was going to, that I had a video idea. I still have that idea, still want to do it. In fact, I already filmed the intro to the video, but I can't do it this weekend like I planned because it's gonna rain and the video idea takes place outside, so I can't really do it when it's gonna rain, sadly. So we're gonna hold off on that video idea, and I decided to open up a little bit. So this video is going to be about my health issues. It's no secret. On my channel, I've uploaded a lot of videos talking about my health issues, and then I kind of quit for a while because I was getting told one thing and then another thing, and I didn't really know what was actually going on, so I quit because I didn't want to spread false information any more than I already had. So this might be a long video, and I'm so sorry for that, but I'm going to do my best. So we're gonna start when it started. Like the end of July of last year, 2021, the end of July or like mid-July, I started getting pain in my right knee. And keep in mind, I had surgery in my right knee like a year before this. In 2020, I had knee surgery because I had a Baker cyst on the back, so they kind of opened up the back of my knee and let it drain out that way, and then they went in the front of my knee and fixed up some tissue that was being messed up, and then that was that. So in July, when I was getting these knee problems and it was starting to swell up again, I was thinking, oh no, like, did the surgery not go as well as we thought? Like, what's going on? This is the same knee that I had surgery on, and I was freaking out. So October was when I actually was able to get in with a doctor, and before that, in August I went for the first time to see a doctor, and then he told me to get an MRI because it might be arthritis. So I was like, okay, arthritis. And then he put me on anti-inflammatory because, you know, the swelling was getting bad. So I started taking it, and then I noticed my left leg, my left knee, was starting to swell up and cause problems as well. So I was a little concerned, worried, but I kept taking the medicine because, you know, it was working, and I just was like, I'll just mention my other knee and then they'll like help me out there. So I got my MRI, and then sorry, and then in September, like the middle of September, I ended up going to the ER because I was so bad. I was in so much pain. And so they couldn't really do much. They tried like taking the like fluid out, but all that they could get was blood. That was an experience that I hated, and I do not want to go through again because it was terrible. It was terrible. The nurse was like poking me like several times, couldn't get anything the first few tries. She had to call someone else to come and like get fluid out of my knee, and oh my god, it hurt so bad. And usually like needles and stuff don't really hurt me that much. I just have like a high pain tolerance, I guess, but that hurt so bad. And then she would like stick my knee and numb it, and then she was like in the wrong place. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad. But they took my blood and they would test it, and they were like, you have anemia. So didn't know if you knew that, but like that's something we found, and I was like, okay. but they like brushed it off like it wasn't a big deal. They just wanted to make sure I knew I was anemic, which I already knew because I got my blood tested when I was a junior in high school because we wanted to see if I was, it was a whole nother story. We're not gonna waste time, but just not. I got my blood tested back my junior year for different reasons, and we found out that I was anemic. So I already knew, but they told me, and I was like, yeah, I know. And they're like, okay, good. So then they left, sent me home. I did tell them that I did have an appointment with my doctor already set up because I had already gotten my MRI. So then we went, and he's like, I looked at the MRI and you have PVNS, and basically it's a non-life-threatening tumor, and to remove it you get surgery, but you talk to your doctor to see what type of surgery will work best because there's like 3 different kinds. But he gave us like this little pamphlet talking about it, letting us know what was gonna happen, what's going on. So yeah, so I was walking around for like from October to December, no, October to January, being like, I have a tumor possibly, but it's non-life threatening, so like I'll be fine. But like still, that's kind of a lot to put on someone. So December. Oh wait, I forgot to say. The doctor that told me I had PVNS, he sent me to another doctor to work on because it's kind of rare to get PVNS. Not a lot of people have it, so he sent me to a doctor who specializes in stuff like that. So I went to see him. He looked at the MRI, and then he said, "This is not PVNS. I don't know why he said that that's what you had. This just looks like really bad arthritis." So so then we mentioned my other knee swelling up too, because that was still going on. And he was like, we'll get you an MRI for this, and then we'll set you up with this other doctor who will help you better than I can. So I went in December, got the other MRI, and then in January, we tried getting in contact with the other doctor because I had my both MRIs done, and they said, which this really like broke me mentally because I at this point ran out of medication and I couldn't get a refill, and I was in so much pain because it was just getting worse, and I just like I was starting to not be able to walk again, and it was so exhausting and mentally draining for me to go through this and not knowing what's wrong. That was probably the worst part, not knowing what was going on. So we get in contact with this other doctor, and they're like, yeah, we looked at the MRIs, and we don't need to see her. It doesn't look like there's anything wrong. And then they hung up. And so we couldn't get an appointment with this doctor, which was devastating because I was like, well, no one is helping me. I'm being thrown in all these different circles, getting told that I have all these things, and like no one is matching up. Like, what's going on? So we were struggling from like January to March to finding someone, and we couldn't, and I was getting really bad, and the pain was the worst thing that it was like I don't even know how to describe the pain. It was so bad. I'm not even being dramatic. I seriously wish I was. I could not get out of this bed because it hurt too much to lift myself up out of bed, and I couldn't walk. If I stood, I would just fall straight to the ground. We can't really afford a wheelchair or anything, so I had to use like a rolly chair that we have in the kitchen to move around basically. That's how I was getting from point A to point B in the house. It was so bad, and like most of the time I didn't even want to get in the chair because it hurt too bad to move, and it was so bad. And then my elbow, I think it was this elbow first, started to hurt because I'm putting a lot of pressure on my elbows now to like try to do things. So I was freaking out. I was losing a lot of weight. I wasn't eating anything. I couldn't eat. The thought of food just made me want to throw up. I was getting really sick. Really, like, there was absolutely no color in my face. I was starting to look like a corpse, and it was scary. And I knew, like, it's so weird. Like, your body kind of, like, this is so weird. And, like, I've heard this before, that, like, if you're dying of like some sort of disease, and you can feel it. I never really understood what that meant, but now I do because I went through it. But I was also told that by someone a long time ago when I was little, and that kind of always just stuck with me because that's just like really random. In my opinion, it's random. But going through that in March was when it really was happening. It was so bad. It was so bad. I could feel everything shutting down. My mind was like, this is it. Like, you're done for. It was so bad to the point where I already had my funeral planned out in my head. I had everything that I wanted. I already had the outfit that I wanted to wear picked out. I was prepared to not wake up in the morning. Every time I woke up, I was shocked because it was getting so bad. So then we finally reached out to the first doctor, and he agreed to see us again. So we caught him up on everything that was going on, and he could see, I could see on his face that he felt so bad for me, and he could see on my face and like my whole everything that I was in so much pain, and I was literally in one of the hospital wheelchairs, like barely even able to move. And so he thankfully put me back on the medicine that I was on at the start of it all, and that helped a lot, but it was causing both my elbows to get really bad now. So both my knees and both my elbows were bad, but it was keeping the swelling down, which is really all that I really needed, and it was helping, and things were getting better. And I was like, this is working. I'm not dying anymore. This is really, really, really good. And we finally found a doctor who would actually take me in and listen to me. And I went to see this doctor, and I told her everything that was going on, and she was like, okay, across the street there's a blood testing place. We're gonna go and get you some blood tests. We're gonna see if this actually is arthritis. We're gonna like test you for like, there were like 5 other things, but we all thought that it was arthritis. So that's where my main focus was like, we're just gonna confirm that it's arthritis, and then we're gonna do what I need to do, and then yada yada. So I went, got the blood taken, no big deal. And then like 2, maybe 3 days later, I got a call, and they were like, hey, so it's not arthritis, but your anemia is extremely low, and it's causing this inflammation anemic disease, which is it's really bad. They didn't say that, but like, it's really bad. So they basically told me that's what's going on. My anemia was so low, my iron was so low. Thankfully it wasn't low enough for an infusion, because that's when they like stick iron in your veins, or I don't know if it actually goes in your veins, but they hook you to a bag of iron there. So yeah, so they put me on tablets for iron, and now I have to take women's vitamins. I don't have a choice no more, and I'm still on the inflammatory as of now, but I also told her how every time I take it, something else goes wrong, so they might end up putting me on something else. I don't really know. But yeah, so the anemic disease, basically, obviously anemia means low, it's basically just low iron. That's why you're pale. It usually happens in females. It's pretty common. Not as low as mine is, though, I will say that. Usually it's just like a little low. Mine is like really low. Also, the inflammation, apparently according to my doctor, your inflammation is not supposed to be over 5. Mine is at currently 122. So that is so fun. And back in November, or not November, September, back in September, when they took the blood out of my knee and was testing, that showed that it was, my inflammation was at 79. So yeah, but it's currently in like 122, which is not good at all. I don't really know what to say other than my anemia is causing. And I also did a lot of research on my own because obviously I want to know more about what's going on with me so that I can help fix it. Basically, it can get so bad that you can start getting your joints inflamed, or inflammation in your joints, which is what's happening. It's also in my ankle too, which I forgot to mention. Both my ankles are also inflamed. So it's both my ankles, both my knees, both my elbows. The only thing that's fine are my wrists. So I don't know. But it almost killed me. Which is the worst part. I would say the scariest part, but the scariest part was not knowing what was going on, you know? Because I knew when it was happening. I knew that I was coming to an end and I was dying. I knew it. And I was preparing myself for it, and I wasn't really scared. The only thing about that was, the only thing that was scary about that was I was worried that I wasn't gonna get to say all that I needed to say to all the important people in my life. I was worried that I wasn't gonna actually get to do like a final goodbye for everyone. But I mean, not knowing what was going on was way scarier. So now that I know, I'm gonna tell people being anemic almost killed me. Literally, which is to me just crazy. So yeah, that's where I am. I go back to the doctor's in a week, I think. We're gonna talk about everything. We're gonna see what we can do to get me better, because that's all we can really hope for. Yeah, so I don't know. But I might end up doing more health videos just because I find this interesting. I didn't know that being anemic could potentially take your life. Also, oh, another thing, it also causes low my body's not producing enough red blood cells, basically. That's another thing that's going on. So red blood cells gives your body oxygen, your organs oxygen. It's how it helps your organs function. So if you're not producing enough of it, it can really mess up your system, and it can cause heart diseases, and you can die, obviously, from that. So that's fun. So that's another thing that was going on. So yeah, I definitely almost died, which is insane because I'm only 19 and I almost died from being anemic. which is, it blows my mind a little bit. So yeah, I guess that's it for the video. This is not as bad as I thought it would be. So that's good. If you've got any questions, comment below. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Yeah. If not, then I might do a part 2. Probably not. Don't look forward to a part 2 because I think I covered everything. Well, I mean, I guess I'll do a part 2 when I have more information after my appointment. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But if you've got any questions, comment below and I will do my best to answer them. I'm still finding out more about this, as I keep doing research on this stuff because I obviously want to get better, so I want to see what I can do now. So yeah, let me know. Yeah, give this a thumbs up. I almost died. So yeah. Subscribe if you haven't, because this channel, I've got great ideas, great things are coming. This is not going to just be a health type channel. I have so many plans for doing other things, okay? But I am going to do health updates just in case anyone's interested, because I find this fascinating and interesting. So, yes. Okay. Subscribe, like, comment any questions. I will do my best to answer. And yeah, bye.